8, 9, 10.
Rolling.
How are you rolling already? I'm not even ready. Like, the stuff is on my lap. Like, how you do this? I swear, low budget productions. Hello, and welcome to Leilani Drinks the Brown Stuff. And of course, I'm your host, Leilani. I hope you know this by now. And we are at the renovated barn at the Avocado Ranch. And today, sookie now. 3 times the charm. I happened to see this bottle while, again, grocery shopping, because that's what I do the most of nowadays. That's all the time I have for. And that's the only time I really want to leave the house and have to leave the house is when I have to do some grocery shopping. So I look for my whiskeys then. And of course, on the shelf was this really sleek looking black bottle. And I was like, what's that fancy schmancy canister? So tonight we are getting into the Tweeddale Grain of Truth Highland single grain Scotch whiskey. And I need you to hear single grain and not single malt. It's going to be very, very important in this episode because it's the peated edition of this, a peated single grain, y'all. And they say it's the first ever for this company and most likely the world. How cool is that? Oh, I'm so excited. So it is distilled and bottled in Scotland, and it is coming in at a hard 50% ABV, which they don't put the proof. So again, we double it, 100 proof, yo. What? I think now, this week, is the highest proof Scotch whiskey we've had on the show. If I'm correct, I could be wrong, but I think we haven't hit 100 proof yet. Not in the Scotch whiskeys, not in the Scotches. So I'm very, very excited about this. Now, the name should sound familiar. I mean, unless you're joining me for the first time, and in that case, hi, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show and let me know that you did, please. But if you go underneath our YouTube and you can just click under Scotch whiskeys, because my beast made it so super easy and he put it in sections. So you have some bourbons, you probably will see the Scotches and some rye, maybe Texas whiskeys. The Scotches, I've done already 2 episodes for the Tweeddale. One, a Scotch whiskey, the Grain of Truth, and now the Peated. So you have your choice to go back, hear some more about the history and the story, because I'm going to quickly get into this. Of course, it's ran by Alistair Day, and his great-grandfather, Robert Day, actually made the Tweeddale in Coldstream by the River Tweed and ended up leaving his book to be inherited. His cellar book is what he called it. And so that's the reason why we have the Tweeddale today. So let's pop this cap and get into it. But before I do, this is such a cool little bottle. I like the leaves. I like the peated edition. They state that this is part of their Tweeddale whiskey heritage. The Grain of Truth challenges current Scotch whiskey convention. And I love a good challenge. Our aspiration is to prove the truth is our single grain can be every bit as good as a single malt. In fact, we believe our peated edition of Grain of Truth is the world's first ever release of a peated single grain Scotch whiskey, an uncommon composition of 50% peated malted barley and 50% wheat, creating a rich and complex peated grain whiskey. And it's the first ever in the collection. It's non-chill filtered, and they do state on theirs, the Tweeddale, which they have on all of theirs, except I think their regular Scotch, that it is caramel free. You can go back, watch the other episodes, find out more, but right now, we drinking. Because I needs to find out what this first ever grain peated whiskey is. Oh, and that's a pretty light color too. And it's signed by Alistair Day. It says bottle number 194. Take a look at that. Look how easily light that is. So easy peasy. Oh, there it is. Gotta find that mark of where they do. This one was a weird one. It's like it's slightly opened and they made a little arrow, but it's already like sunken in, so you gotta pull it out. What's that? Let's see. Oh. Why won't they let me into this whiskey? Oh. Another good whiskey pop makes my day. Light, smoke, definitely smell the peat. Wind, I feel like I smell the wind in this. A little bit of the honey, maybe a black pepper. It's a nice little round full of different smells. Woman's Poe, woman's Poe. And again, with this Scotch and light color, y'all. I mean, that is, it does, like a Chardonnay, right? All right. Well, I'll just have a glass of this. Smelled a little perfumey for a split second. And I feel like that's an apple that I'm getting a little hold of. A little cinnamon, that tobacco and smoke is coming through. But the peat is definitely there, just sitting on top, making it smell so delicious. Now, just so that you guys know, I've mentioned it before, I wasn't a Scotch drinker. I didn't even like peat when I first started drinking. So just know your taste buds could change. This is an acquired taste. It does come. It's like eating kimchi sometimes. There's a billion different kimchis out there. There's gonna be one that's gonna tickle your fancy. You just gotta keep trying them. So if someone offers you a Scotch and you're not a Scotch drinker, just try it. You might actually enjoy it. Water, wind and water. Definite, the taste of caramel. I can taste it. Even though they say it's caramel free, it is there and it is really nice, y'all. It comes right in the middle. There is a little burst of warmth, but nothing overpowering at first. It goes down really silky. The peat isn't heavy though. It's there, but if you're the type of person that likes just the hint of peat, it's a little bit more than a hint, but to me, it's not an overpowering peat. So I find it really very, yum. That's what I find it. That honey, light vanilla, apple goodness. It's easy. It's so easy. And the fact that I found it for like $32, I mean, come on. Tweeddale. There's definitely a little bit more, I would say, just a slight more alcohol rise that I can feel at the very back end. But other than that, it is simply silky and gorgeous to me right now. And I think those are the flavors that I kind of taste, that smoke. So, Leilani Drinks the Brown Stuff has to give the Tweeddale single grain Highland Scotch whiskey 4.5 kisses. It is wondrous. So, single grain, single malt, they did their thing. And you should definitely grab you a bottle. So cheers. I didn't have an outro.